Oh my god, dude. I need to get like a new camera or something because this thing only records video for like 10-15 minutes. Yes. Okay. I've done take one. I don't want to splice this together because I don't know where I stopped. So just start from the beginning. I've been struggling with the idea of cause and effect, and also what can you blame a person for? What can you hold somebody responsible for? And like, for example, if you have somebody in a very poor country going through, or like if you have some innocent child going through the Holocaust, how can I tell this child if you just work hard you'll be okay? Like, that's not something that I feel like I have the capacity to tell someone. However, I've been struggling with this idea, and I think I'm getting just a little bit closer to a solution. So, I was watching Dr. K's video it's like a webinar on karma, and I'll put it in the description, because I'm still in the midst of watching it, but this is like, it's an hour long, and I thought that I'd take a break to discuss my thoughts on it, and discuss how I think cause and effect works, and shit like that. There are 3 types of responsibility that I can see. One is the responsibility of cause, one is the responsibility of ability, and the third is the responsibility of effect. As in, the world will hold you responsible for cause and consequences. So if you make something bad happen, or assumedly, you will be held responsible for the cause of doing something, and you will be held responsible in the sense of consequences. You can do something bad, that's your fault. You will get bad things that are consequences. Sometimes consequences of other people's actions will rub off on you, or just random circumstance. So be it, right? Just the nature of the world, man. I don't really know, like, and even, I'm talking outside of capitalism and society. I mean genetically, like, some people are just predisposed to higher rates of cancer. And that's not something that, like, I can't blame you for that. But Dr. K in the video kind of brings up this idea of there's a wall of separation between people think that what happens before this life is not your fault. And that's fair, but what if you brought that to the present moment? The things that you actually have control over. What happened yesterday, not your fault. Because you change at every moment, and you can't go back and fix the past. So therefore, in the second category, responsibility of ability, it is not your fault. Literally, like, you can't do anything about it. You will be held responsible for the causes by receiving the consequences, 1 and 3, but you can't do anything about it, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. So what would I say to a child in the Holocaust? The situation that you're in is horrid, and I'm sorry, and I would try to, like, get them out, but if I can, if I could just give words, the only words that I could say is, if you live to fight and keep living and keep fighting, at some point you will hopefully be okay. I can't guarantee you anything, but I know that wallowing and being in your miserable situation, continuing to be miserable, won't help. Even if I can't give you a reason as to why this happened, and I can't give you a reason as to why you're facing these consequences, because I really don't think that anybody deserves that at all, then I can at least give you a path forward, And at the end of the day, isn't that really what it's all about? What can you hold somebody responsible for is not a question of how harshly I can blame myself, because realistically, I'd stop all of that. For most people, in most situations, you are not worthy of contempt. I really don't think so. I think that unless you're doing something absolutely abhorrent and inhumane, which does happen, you will, if you feel guilty, hold yourself responsible. Like, if you've done a crime that's horrid that you can't even speak of, turn yourself in. Stupid, like, I know that you won't. I know that, like, horrid people don't usually turn themselves in, but if that's something that you're racking with the guilt, take responsibility for that, There's nothing that you can do about the past, because the past is defined and unchanging. However, the future is uncertain. You can't do anything about that either. The present moment is literally all you control. And like what Dr. K said, if you do something in order to achieve some certain result, it will fail because, or either it will fail or it will succeed, but the success isn't necessarily what you're after. You're not after, because what you're after is a way to act wholly, and I think most people are after this, in a way that lets them enjoy their life in the present moment, but also maybe have some nice things along the way. I can't guarantee the nice things. I don't know where you're going to end up tomorrow, but I can tell you that if you act rightly in the present moment, generally, like planting seeds, the more that you do, the more seeds you sow, the more that you cultivate, probabilistically, you'll bear some fruit. So, in conclusion, question mark? I don't know if I mentioned the seeds thing, it was in the previous video too, but in conclusion, basically, I don't think that you can necessarily hold somebody responsible in a grander sense for anything that they've done in the past. The consequences that come from that, though, well, they will have to deal with that in the present moment. I won't go and I'm not in a room to come and blame somebody for what they did before, because I don't like blaming people for shit, and also, it's not a way that things are going to get better, because why the fuck would I waste my time blaming somebody when I can actually help them grow to be a better person in the here and fucking now? Like, that's the only way that things are going to get better. So, if they can't even control what they did in the past, and me blaming them isn't going to help them be good in the future, the only thing that I have is the ability to help them in the present, you know? Even if they've wronged me, or somebody that I know, that's the only thing I feel like I'm able to do. That's the only right action I feel like I can take in that situation. And don't worry, like, the world will hold them responsible. The consequences for people's actions will catch up to them at some point. I generally think so. But the focus really shouldn't be on what's before and what's after. It should be focused on acting good now. And it's all up to your personal preference. I'm not saying go follow some religion or whatever the fuck. I'm saying find some principles that you can actually rely on that allow you to live presently and act for the sake of acting, because generally when you do things for intrinsic reasons, do them for the sake of the task, you will do them better and better and better and better, and things will generally get better. Generally. Yeah. But yeah, that's about it. I'm going to keep watching the video. I've realized that some of my thoughts were not fully formed, but that's okay. That's what this is for. So, alright. Thank you. Oh, shoot.